AI is everywhere. Your neighbors are using it, your realtor's using it, and you're definitely using it as well. And when it comes to selling or buying the biggest asset that most people have, how do we properly use AI so that we have the most accurate, up-to-date information when we're selling? On today's video, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna give you some great examples. We have a gift for you at the very end of the video on how you can maximize the sale of your home using AI. I wanna talk about the pros and the cons that we see, and again, how this will maximize your home's value. I want to sit down and tell you two quick stories about AI and real estate, and it's actually what the inspiration for this video was. The first one is a really recent clip that actually hit the internet from Ryan Serhant that actually does Owning Manhattan, the Netflix special. And he talked about how a $50 million real estate deal that he had disintegrated. It all fell apart. They'd been working on it for a year. The seller put the information and comps and kind of the scenario into ChatGPT, and it came back and said, don't sell your home, you're selling it for too little of a price. Well, they take that information to the buyer's agent, and the buyer's agent was actually upset as well because the buyer put the same information into their ChatGPT and it told them you're overpaying. So both parties wanted to terminate on each other because, the same information was given, but yet AI wanted to appeal to its own user, right? So that massive deal fell apart. The second one is actually a colleague of mine had an appointment they went on, and they show up and the seller had, hey, I've got my home inspection and I have my appraisal ready for you. And they said, why do you have that? Like, well, ChatGPT told me I needed it. I spent $600 on a home inspection. I spent another $650 on an appraisal. And it was a kind of a waste of money. Getting an inspection before you sell your home can be a good idea in some cases, but often it's not. Now you know all this information about your home and you have to disclose it. Getting an appraisal can be worth it, but that's what agents really are helping us do, pricing. A lot of appraisals look historical at old data, and so that ended up being undervalue. And if a buyer's using financing, they cannot use that appraisal. So $1,200 was sort of wasted. So that's kind of a cautionary tale, if you will, of how it can change and manipulate and change the scenario. So it is important to obviously hire a professional, but I want to talk about some of the really great things that AI can help you do. So now I want to talk about the awesome things that we see it do, right? A very great example is kind of the image generation, if you will. So people will sometimes say, what does my house look like if I painted this brick this color? Or what would my kitchen look like if I replace the countertops? It's very easy for you to take a picture of something and have it, generate what white quartz countertops might look like. Another really good one is whenever you work with a real estate agent, I'll be able to give you comparables of your neighborhood, right? The market trends in 77381, 77382, any zip code that you might be living in, and we can compare and contrast days on market. We can ask it all of these, very detailed. Is there a price difference between 3-car garages and 2-car garages? What if you have a generator? What if you don't have a generator? Those are the important things that we get to comb through that really help us with the pricing side of things, making sure that we're ultimately going to get you the most amount of money with the least amount of days on market. The next thing is actually helping you hire a real estate agent. Oftentimes whenever we're in families' homes, they're like, well, what questions should we be asking you? I think this is a great thing to talk to AI with regarding what questions should I be asking, who might be the best fit, right? You can kind of it can be a sounding board, if you will, on some of those larger decision-making tools for you, as well as what improvements should we do. This is where kind of our expertise comes in a little bit more of what we see day to day, how we can tweak your home a little bit. We have a whole separate video on, the best minor updates you can do on your house. But we want to make sure we do the right ones, because I don't want you to ask it, should I totally redo my kitchen? And it says yes, and you do it, and we find out that it's actually, not going to give you the best ROI. So we typically know what those exact ROIs are, but it's really good to help us come with that list of things and to-do lists, right? We can have contractors come out, create our timelines. That's where I find that I use it the most alongside clients. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to talk about, which is how much is your home worth? How can we use these products to help estimate what your home will sell for potentially? And if you're watching this in Texas, it's even more important that you know about this section. So Texas is a non-disclosure state. We do not have to report what our homes sell for publicly, right? That's all private information that real estate brokers have and appraisers have as well. When you ask, and I'd be curious if you did this, if you went and asked ChatGPT, how much is my home worth, plug in your address, I guarantee or else coffee's on me. That is going to be wrong. We did this recently with one of the homes that we brought to list, and what it does is it references what is publicly available. Zillow, Realtor.com, and these are all Zestimates. It's gonna reference the Montgomery County property tax district value as well, which we all know if you protest and you have your homestead, that value is going to be low too. So it's looking for that public data, but it's never been inside of your home. It doesn't know what updates you have. It doesn't know that, oh, you're actually on the golf course and not on the other, just average kind of the non-golf course side of the home to the golf course side of the home, if you will. So it is important that we look at that. We did this for a home that we were listing. It was gonna be $650,000. I asked, how much was it worth? Zillow came back at, nothing was basically in $600,000. It was like $550 to $600, and we're listing for $650, and that's not outrageous. That's like right in the middle of the price per square foot for the neighborhood, so it's really attractive. So it is very important that you might be leaving, tens of thousands of dollars on the table if you're just using this and wanted to sell it to a neighbor's friend that wanted to move to your street. So it's important that in order to maximize the value, right, we work with our clients to pull neighborhood comparables, pull what has recently sold in the last month. We talk with appraisers, and then we can integrate AI in that to fine tune our value proposition. Okay, so as promised, whether you're in the Woodlands or any part of Texas or possibly anywhere in the country, I want to give you as much value as possible for free. So we've created a custom GPT that's basically going to help walk you through the home evaluation process, right? It's gonna ask you, what updates have you done? Are there, unique things about your property? What are your favorite things about your home? When was the last time you replaced your air conditioner? All those smaller details that it typically would not know if it was just searching the internet to help bring you value, right? And if you want to take it a step further and want more recent sales comparables, I'm happy to give you that so then it can even further evaluate it. Our hope here is that actually, if you are in the Woodlands, Texas, that, if you're a year or two out, you can begin using this to track the data. We can come alongside you to help kind of coach and what do we need to do now so that we can maximize your sale, even if it's in December, but you want to sell in May of the next year. So this is a great tool to be able to do that, and it's going to be free. So you'll basically be able to just download the prompt and get started. In the age of AI, it's important that you're working with professionals that not only want to use technology, but have the local expertise, and they know the nuance between zip codes and schools so that you can get the most amount of money back on the investment that has meant so much to you. My name is Chase with the Giles Real Estate Team, and I sell the Woodlands. I grew up here, I live here, I went to high school at the Woodlands High School, and we get to help families every single day not only move here, but sell their Woodlands homes. If you want more information, or if you're looking to sell your house, reach out to us. You can scan the QR code on the screen, it'll take you to our website, or you can call my personal cell phone number down below. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you on the next video.